if you deep in your heart know that you could start a YouTube channel that gets your voice out in the world and is a positive impact on people, but you always keep coming up with excuses, today I'm going to destroy one of the ones that I see come up the most. And what might that be? Is it, I don't know what to say? Well, no, that's not it. Is it, I have a face for radio? Well, let me tell you, you shouldn't be saying that no matter what. The biggest excuse that we're going to destroy for you not starting your YouTube channel is, I don't know what equipment to get. Boy, this does seem complicated. And then, once you have the equipment, you wouldn't know how to use it. And honestly, if that's your excuse, today is your good news, because I'm going to tell you about the setup that I use, because I like to keep things simple. And honestly, I'm using a lot of things that you probably already have on hand too. So I think this might be one of the simplest setups that you can have for YouTube videos. And today, we're going to talk all about it. Hey, I'm Diane. I've started this channel for my fellow Gen-Xers and early boomers to talk about new potentials for some new income streams and the opportunity to make some more money, whether we're facing our retirement years or whether we're in them. So I'm targeting my content to people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and on up. If you have an interest in creating that possibility for yourself, and it might involve technology. We're not going to talk about YouTube every time, but I think there's so much interest in people in this demographic to start a YouTube channel that I just want to provide as much helpful information as I can. And I think the helpful information is usually the simple. I mean, we are the generation that, we figure things out, but we didn't grow up with technology, but that does not mean that it has to be something that is just like untouchable for you now. So let's talk about the simple way to get started. For this simple setup, you may not even have to get a lot, because I'm imagining quite a few things on this short list are things that you might already have access to. And one of those is access to the internet. And honestly, for making YouTube and starting a channel, you could really do it all on your phone if you wanted to, but some of the things just are a little simpler to do on your computer. So having access to the internet and a PC, laptop, anything along that line is going to make things easier for you to do, sort of like the comment returns and some of the more administrative things you have to do with the channel. But it also helps with dealing with your videos too. Now, does it need to be lightning fast and a super expensive plan? Absolutely not. If you're able to play a video with your home internet, then that's really all you need. Here's where some snooty tech people might say, Diane, you are not advanced enough in how you're doing things. And I don't care, because what I'm doing is working for me, and I didn't have to learn any new equipment, and I didn't have to buy any new equipment. Because the best part about the main part of what I use to make my videos is it's something that I almost always have with me already. So, if you haven't guessed, I record my videos with my phone. I don't use any other type of camera. I happen to have an iPhone. It's an iPhone 14, so heck, it's not even one of the new ones. It has good camera on it, and if you have a Samsung, Android, any other smartphone that has a camera on it, it's probably going to be decent enough quality for you to be able to do the same thing and use that phone as what you're using to record your videos. So if you happen to have an iPhone, people have asked how I sort of blur the background on my videos some. I open up the camera, and instead of moving it just to video, I move it to the next one over to what's called cinematic mode. And that sort of helps to give it that effect. I just think it's a little bit of a classier look. I don't change any other settings. I don't change any other speeds. I don't have extra filters on it or anything like that. I keep it simple. My phone is what I use. It's creating videos that are quality that I'm very happy with, and apparently are working pretty well on my YouTube channel. So I think that's probably the biggest thing, that if people think they need a camera of that sort, someday I might get there, someday you might get there. But for now, I'm very happy using my phone. So I'm recording videos, and I have to have some way to sort of light myself up when I'm talking so I can be seen well. Now, get ready. This could be tough, and I don't know whether you're going to know what this is, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you what my light source is. Have you ever seen one of those before? Of course, I'm just using natural light, and I'm recording in front of a window, and honestly, I'm not sure it can get any less complicated than that. All right, to be completely honest, the lighting thing is something that I am thinking a little bit about what I can do to improve. Why? Because in the United States, it's coming into the winter months here soon, and I have a full-time job. So most mornings I am driving to work when the sun is coming up, and I am definitely when I'm driving home, the sun is already down at that point. So my opportunity to sit in my home office and record these videos for you is pretty limited to weekends, and everybody has stuff going on, so it's sometimes hard to accomplish that. So I am thinking of what I can do for some easy lighting setup. I'm going to do a little bit more research on that, and if I get there, I'll certainly share with what I'm doing. But just for practicality, I'm sticking with a window, and as much as I can make that happen with the time frame that's available to me, that's definitely going to be my go-to. The next thing that a lot of people have asked about is what I'm using for a microphone. So if you've watched any other videos that I've done, you've seen that I've tried a few here in this new season on this channel because I want to see what works, and I honestly think that sound quality is something you really have to pay attention to so it's not off-putting for people. And so I'm trying to improve, and I've gotten a lot of suggestions from you guys, which I'm grateful for. So what I've landed on is a clip-on wireless mic, and it happens to be with the brand of Hollyland. It's not the most expensive, probably not the cheapest, but I think it's decent quality. It always gets good reviews, and it seems like their products across the board are pretty good overall. So it comes with this little clip-on mic that I turn on and attach so it's pretty close so it can catch what I'm saying. Then show you some behind the scenes action here. It also comes with a little wireless transmitter that this is what takes what comes from the microphone and makes it usable as it goes into my phone to process with the video. So this little white wire here is a very inexpensive adapter that I bought off Amazon to have it fit in my phone, because if you know anything about iPhones, they have, at least at this point in time, what's called a lightning port, and it didn't come with something that fit into that, so I paid just a couple bucks. I don't know that you can buy a single Hollyland wireless mic at this point on Amazon. Maybe that's going to change. I bought mine with a set of two because I think at some point I'm going to be doing videos with somebody else, so I want that interview aspect to be something that the sound quality is good on, and so I went ahead and did that. Maybe that's something you'll be doing with your videos too, or certainly if you only need one microphone, there's other options on Amazon so you can choose. If I find another one that I know I've heard good things about, that I'll put that link down there too. It's a nice, simple, easy, not very expensive investment that I think makes it a good quality raise to what you're putting out there for your videos. So now that you know that all I use to record is my phone, I do need something that holds the phone in place and holds it steady and at a good height for me. So I just use a small flexible tripod that I got on Amazon. You can get all kinds of different heights, and definitely if you're going to be moving around in your videos and doing more than just sitting and talking like I generally am, you'll probably want to explore some other choices. But what I have here works fine for my use. I am pretty tall, so I have a small stack of books that I put the tripod on my desk. So once the tripod's in place, I flip my iPhone out of its case because I think it just works on the tripod a lot better without a case on it. Then I plug in the input on the microphone like I had showed you, and I like to record with the back camera of the phone. It's better quality as far as just the lenses are better quality the way it is now. The front will work fine, but my personal choice is to use the back of the phone, so I set it up. I have the front of the phone facing the wall and the camera facing towards me, and that tripod works great for it. All right, time to share a little bit of a secret weapon for you on a nice little thing that I do that has made my life a lot easier. So once I'm recording, I open up the camera up on the phone, put it into cinematic mode, make sure things are straight. And then once the camera is open on the phone, I open it up on my Apple Watch. I don't know if you can see that on there too. The nice thing about that is I can look at that and make sure that I generally am in the frame okay, that it's straight, that it's not, all cattywampus like that, and that the lighting is generally okay. It's not going to be great quality for me to check all that really closely on the watch because it's tiny, but those three things taken care of, I can touch up a lot of any other problems later with that. So the nice thing about being able to control it with my watch is that I can just stop and start it without, taking the distraction of taking my phone down and doing that all the time. So that makes it a lot easier. Plus, like I said, I like to use the back camera, and it's nice not to have the distraction that I have to sit here and look at myself while I'm recording. So an Apple Watch is a big positive if you have an iPhone and you're going that route. I really like how that works. However, if you don't have one, a simple Bluetooth controller that you can get off of Amazon would do pretty much the same thing as far as the starting and stopping. You won't be able to see it quite like that on that, but it does help you that it's just a simple thing that you can just tap to start recording and stop recording. So I'll put a link down there too. So finally, and this isn't a piece of equipment, but it is a necessary process when you're creating a video, and that's to do a little bit of editing. So I just sort of record parts of my video in shorter patches because I want to remember what I'm saying. I have a little bit of notes that I write out ahead of time and sort of go by, but I just do little sections at a time. As you can see, I sort of put them together in the video. If I felt like I had to open up and say everything that I wanted to say in the video all in one fell thing, I would fail completely every single time, because a lot of times I have to record the little sections more than once because I screw something up with it. So editing takes away a lot of the pressure that if you really stumble over your words or if you need to start and stop, there's a lot of ways that you can just kind of zip them out of the video and no one will ever know that it happened. So I, again, am taking the simple approach with editing, and I'm just using the CapCut app on my phone. So last night I suddenly had a revelation. Oh, I could also use it on my iPad, which would be helpful for my 55-year-old eyes and my progressive lenses that have a little hard of a time of editing the video on my phone. CapCut offers a lot of nice features. It's not super complicated. It can help to really kind of dress your videos up the ways that you want it to do, besides just the actual editing of when you stumble over your words like I just did. So I'm sure there's a lot of how to edit with CapCut videos on YouTube that you can check out. But honestly, if you have a teenager in your life and your family, as a neighbor in your church, anything where you'd be able to ask them, I'm going to bet that they can tell you that, yeah, they use CapCut and they can probably do far more things on it than I can. So you can ask them to help you. Heck, you could even toss a couple dollars that way and ask them if they actually want to edit your videos for you. You might be surprised at what their response might be. So I'm sure someday I will grow up into maybe a mature editor, but for now, I'm keeping it simple. And honestly, I say that I might very well just be keeping it simple because I want to concentrate more on content than all the stuff behind the scenes that will inevitably get more complicated if I try into the more complicated things. That's not my desire. My desire is to put out what I hope are helpful videos that help you too. And keeping it simple is the best way for me to get that actually done. I'm going to make sure that the details of everything that I've talked about and Amazon links will be in the description below so you can find them easily. But honestly, this stuff is sold plenty of places. You know how to get it from there if you find something that works better for you somewhere else. And I do want to mention, I know that my videos are relatively non-complicated. It's just me. I'm not moving around a whole lot. I'm looking at the camera and talking to you, and that's pretty much the extent of, what I have to do as far as the production of everything. I'm sure many of you are thinking of channels that would require some extra, a little bit more complicated things, whether you're demonstrating things or you have other people involved or just wider shots are necessary. But I'm just going to keep encouraging you that there's probably simpler routes than buying the big complicated things that you know that other people who have maybe more progressed channels on are using. And think about the ways that you can keep it simple, because keeping it simple means that it's likely to get done. If I can just encourage you one more time, don't let yourself get trapped in the idea that you need expensive equipment, that you need complicated equipment, and that the whole tech that's associated with everything is too complicated. I think it's something that maybe we like to tell ourselves, but if that's the excuse that's keeping you from starting a channel and trying to make videos and getting things posted and just starting the whole process, please don't let that be the reason why you're not doing it. I just want to encourage you to give it a try. It may be far less complicated than you think, and it's simple enough that there's a likelihood that you have some people in your life that could probably help you at least get started with the understanding of what you need, because these are things that most people are familiar with using already. So if setup and technology has been one of the sticking points for you, I really hope that this video has been an encouragement for you to think that, man, it doesn't have to be as complicated as maybe what it has become in your mind, and that you'd be willing to give it a try. So I've made some videos about what I think are really the positives of starting a YouTube channel. And the first one has nothing to do with money. I think the title is Why Start a YouTube channel even if no one watches. And I just encourage you to take a couple minutes. I'll link it right up here. And it just basically talks about that your voice is necessary in the world, especially as Gen Xers and early boomers. We have so much wisdom to share that I think a lot of people can benefit from. We've had a lot of life experience that we can speak to things that the people that are younger us really can't. So a YouTube channel is really just a productive and positive and easy way to do that. I know that several people also want to be pursuing the income streams that could come along with a YouTube channel. And let me tell you, they are far more than just the monetization and using the ads on your channel. So also here, I'll just link to a video that I've done about how you can make money on YouTube in a lot of different ways that really don't depend on the ads at all. So take a couple minutes to watch that too if you could. So do you think you can handle this simple setup? I really bet you can, because I think we've taken a lot of the complicated nature out of it. So if there's other questions that I can help to answer as you consider what you would want to do with starting or building your YouTube channel, please just leave them for me in the comments, and I might be able to use them to make some video content out of that hopefully helps you to keep moving along. But no matter what, I just want to encourage you to put your voice out in the world and let your experiences be something that benefit others. And hey, if you want to make some extra money while you're doing that, all the better. So we're going to keep talking about it.